Hi, I'm Marni Wasserman. I'm a culinary nutritionist and I believe in an organic, sustainable, and plant-based diet. If you're interested in growing your own food at home, then I'd highly recommend getting yourself an Urban Cultivator. The Urban Cultivator is the perfect all-in-one home garden because you get so much out of so little, meaning it takes very little work to actually get the cultivation, get the seeds growing in the sprouts, and you have so much variety and so much nutrition coming out of this little box. And it's been extremely beneficial to my business as well as my own personal life because I have a constant supply of fresh sprouts. It makes microgreens very accessible because you can get all the specialty greens that people often don't find on a regular basis that you can grow right here in the Urban Cultivator. We need chlorophyll, we need enzymes, we need the vitamins, the minerals that plants provide. A microgreen or a sprout grown in the Urban Cultivator has got all the nutrients that it needs to carry through its lifespan in that first initial step of growth. So it's like a baby, it's got everything it needs. So eating something that is just freshly grown or sprouted is one of the most nutritious things that you can put into your body. So this is the way the Urban Cultivator works, is there's a display screen here, and you can actually work through the water cycles and pick where it's watering and when and set the actual time. And there's a top tray and a bottom tray. There's a little device that inserts into the back, and that's what allows the water to fill up the trays so that the soil on the bottom actually gets wet and stimulates growth. So the lighting is integrated depending on the unit. So again, if it's a automated unit, the lights will come on. You can set the cycle for every 18 hours or every 8 hours, but the lights inside are meant for indoor growing. And these are ready to harvest. So on average, it takes the cycle of seeds about 1 to 2 weeks. So something really small like a lentil sprout or a radish sprout will start to germinate within days, and you can probably start to harvest within 3 or 4 days, whereas pea shoots take up to a week. And then you just replant and resoil and grow them again. The amount of food and nutrition that you can get out of this unit ends up making the unit quite affordable. And you have a little bit of connection to something that's growing and living, so there's a really nice element to that as well.
The great thing about vertical growing is that you can take a small piece of real estate and basically convert it into a large piece of real estate. Hi, my name is Jonah Kroc-Malnick, and I own a company called Living Earth Farm. I grow microgreens and sprouts in a 150 square foot room in my house. And I'm going to be taking you through the growing process, starting with seed and soil to the stage where they grow under the lights. These are full spectrum lights. And then by the time they're ready to harvest, they will look like this. I grow about 10 different varieties of microgreens. That includes kale, radish, sunflower, peas, mustard, among quite a few others, and they all grow in this room. The growing process starts with seed, soil, and some sort of holding medium. So basically here would be a tray. Basically you want to put the soil in the trays. You want to flatten it with another tray just to get it nice and flat for the seeds to be dispersed on. So once it's flat, you just want to get a little bit of water on there. So we're going to disperse the seed as evenly as possible on the growing medium. The next step is to just mist it very lightly, just so that the seed germination process will begin. And then you cover the microgreens. This keeps the moisture in and helps the seeds germinate and start growing. And in about 3 or 4 days, you'll see the little sprouts coming out the side, and that is the cue when you should uncover them and put them under light. One of the main reasons I started growing in my house is because property values in Toronto, whether it be farmland or commercial land or real estate, is very expensive in Toronto. And because of that, it's very important to grow in a small space, and that's where vertical gardening is incorporated into my business and my grow space. These are buckwheat lettuce. They're about 5 days old. In about 7 days, they'll be ready to harvest and will look like those right there. The main advantage of growing microgreens indoors is you basically control the entire life cycle of the plant, the climate. You don't have to worry about weather conditions, and you can basically predict when you plant and when you're going to harvest. And ultimately, after I outgrow the space in this room, I'd like to rent a warehouse space and do basically what I'm doing here on a larger scale.